Welcome to this edition of Excel in 5 minutes, presented by Stratfield Solutions. Today's lesson is going to focus on an incredibly powerful function which is called RANDBETWEEN, and it's exactly what it sounds like. It lets you create a random number in Excel, and you're allowed to, in this case, specify both the lower number, the bottom number, and the top number of the range which you want to create a random variable for. So we'll jump right in, take a quick look at the Excel function within Excel itself, but before that I want to go through just a couple of tips and tricks with this particular formula. So for an overview, again, the RANDBETWEEN function is a great way to create data sets, or if you want to assign a random number variable to a list of values. So if you want to assign everybody a particular number in a range of values, this is a great formula function to be able to do that. As opposed to the simpler RAND function, RANDBETWEEN lets you actually limit the lower and upper bound, or the lower point and the upper point of the range, rather than RAND, which will just have Excel assign any value to a particular cell. So this could be better if you need to limit the range of which the values can be set for. So just a quick little bit of tips and cautions here. Each time an update gets made to a worksheet with this function, RANDBETWEEN, the values will randomize again. I'll show you how that actually works, and for the most part that's not a really desired function or feature of this particular function within Excel. So you may want to prevent this by copying and pasting the variables as values once you're finished creating your random variable set. And so with that, you don't have to worry about the values continuously randomizing. One other thing is that RANDBETWEEN does allow for duplicates. So if I show you the example that I'll have, you'll notice that there are a few cells containing the same value. So if your data requirements are not to have duplicates, you need to adjust for this. The formula itself allows any value in between the lower and upper bound that you specify. So the syntax, how the formula is actually, the function is actually written, RANDBETWEEN function, just like any others, will start with an equal sign, RANDBETWEEN, open parentheses, the bottom and the top. So only two arguments within this function. The bottom is the lower number in the range of values, and of course the top is the highest number in the range of values. So let's jump over into Excel and walk. Okay, so here we are in a regular worksheet within Excel, and we're going to use the RANDBETWEEN function. So just like any other function, equal sign, start typing the function name you want to specify. You'll see there's RAND array, and RANDBETWEEN. So we want to use RANDBETWEEN, and you'll notice the first argument is the bottom. So let's say I want to assign only numbers between 1 and 10. The bottom would be 1, insert a comma, and then the top would be 10. Close the parentheses and hit enter. You'll notice it gave me an integer value of 5, so something in between 1 and 10. If I want, I can use the fill handle, of which there is another Stratfield Solutions video on the YouTube channel about autofilling and dragging with the fill handle. And when I do that, you'll see that it has continued to give me integer values in between 1 and 10. Now, like I mentioned in the tips and cautions, you will see duplicate values here. For example, cell A2 and cell A8 both have the number 6. So you do need to be careful with that. If I wanted to make the range larger, I certainly could. I could say between 1 and, let's say, 1,000. And when I filled it down, you see all of these values are somewhere between 1 and 1,000. Of course, the larger the range, the less likely you are to have a duplicate value. So that is one way to avoid that. You'll also notice that as I have continued to do the fill handle for each of these, it is changing the random numbers. So if I want to set these values and say I'm comfortable with the numbers here, I could copy them using either Control-C or clicking on the list of values to copy, and then putting them in as values, either Control-V as a special paste, or using the values paste option here from the thumbnail list. That will, of course, eliminate the formula, but you will now have a set list of random variables that have been created. So that really is it on the RANDBETWEEN function in Excel. I hope this video was helpful. If it was, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to us at Stratfield Solutions for more Excel, finance, and accounting videos. Take care.